that our grandmas were more fertile in their 40s than we are in our 20s and 30s? You might be wondering why that's the case, and it's because she was in line with her seasons. She looked after her heart, her gut, and most importantly, her womb. I've always been fascinated about fertility facts. Let me take you back to 2018, where I was sat in my clinic on a chair, you know, the ones that the doctors use, because my clinic was in a medical and dental surgery. So in walked my couple. Oh, she's got a white maxi dress on, and she's got with blue flowers. I'm going to call her Mrs. Anxious. Behind her walks in Mr. Official. He's all suited and booted with a matching blue tie. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my clinic. I'm Shanela, the holistic fertility expert. Pleased to meet you. Is it okay, as it is in our culture, to call you brother and to call you sister? Right, sister, I've got lots of questions. Let me begin with the first question. If it's okay, brother, can we leave the questions to the end of the consultation? Because I'm sure I would have answered quite a few of them. Okay, ask. Right. If you don't mind, sister, could I ask you about your fertility journey so far? And can I ask you about your periods? Oh, Shanela, I'm sorry. I know you asked to leave all the questions at the end, but can I ask you, have you got any children? Yes, I've got 2 children, but I do understand loss. How do you understand loss? Because I've been through several IVF fails and I'm sick of everything and I just want a baby. Sister, I understand loss because after 6 years of marriage, I was blessed with a baby girl. And after that daughter, I was blessed with a boy. But both of them were born prematurely, so I never got to hold a newborn. So this desire and this yearning led me to wanting another child. But this yearning led me to my first loss. 1 became 2. 2 became 3. I suffered 3 miscarriages. But 3 soon became 4. 4 is a nice even number, wouldn't you agree? But no, I suffered 5 losses. I'm sorry about that. It's okay. Some of my clients ask me, well, you never got your rainbow child, so how can you help us? Well, the thing is my 5th miscarriage was actually in Pakistan. And I was this close into losing my uterus, so I was medically advised not to try for another child. And this news, I became a bit depressed and I was lying down, just trying to process it, scrolling on social media. And in walked my 6-year-old son, and he said, "Mummy, don't do that." I said, "Don't do what?" He goes, "Don't be on the phone. It's not good for the baby." I looked at him and I said, "There is no baby. Why does it always happen to us?" And it was at that moment that my heart broke. Because I had a choice now. Do I become a mother yearning for something that she couldn't? Or do I become a therapist helping those who can and who have got the possibility of parenthood? And I chose the therapist to become the therapist I couldn't find. Sister, thank you for sharing that. What questions have you got to ask? So as I proceeded to explain to them my protocol for the 7 steps to a successful pregnancy, and as I had finished my consultation, I turned to them and asked, "Have you got any questions for me?" "Oh, sister, I can't believe it. I have been to Harley Street and I've also been to some of the best fertility clinics in America and in Europe. But some of the things that you have explained to me today, I've never really understood, or neither have I even thought about. So thank you very much." And as they left, have you ever been in a situation where you felt somebody's pain and sorrow was on your shoulders? Because that's how I felt that day too. You see, I had full faith in my protocol, but I just wished that they will follow through. 3 months later, oh, hang on. That's strange. Mrs. Anxious is coming through. She's got a fresh look on herself. She's looking, well, actually, no, she's looking calm and collective and quite happy, and she's got a spring in her step. Behind her, well, Mr. Official has now become Mr. Open. "Samigan, thank you. Come in, take a seat. How are you doing?" "We can't believe it, Shanela. We can't believe the transformation that's taken place. My periods now come without any problem. I'm feeling so much happier and so much calmer." I told you she became Mrs. Calm. "But there's one thing, sister. I don't know how to say this, but I'm getting cold feet." "Ooh, okay. That's fine. If you're getting cold feet and you don't want to work with me, that's totally fine. I don't mind." "What do you mean I don't want to work with you?" "I'm saying I've got cold feet. I've got physically cold feet." "Oh, okay." Sorry. Let me think about that and I'll get back to you in the evening. So as I was searching for a solution, I was reminded that cold feet could sometimes signify that women have cold wombs. So, as I started thinking about a solution, I was reminded of a TV program that I saw about old miners. And the fact is that in the old mining days, when they were cold, they would put their feet in hot water as a means to warming them up. I know it sounds ridiculously simple, but I suggested this to her. And guess what? It worked. I was so happy. And so what happened then is that I actually started putting it in my already successful protocol because it worked. And sometimes it's the ridiculously simple things that can really have a big impact in yourself. Because I don't know if anyone knows, but if you're in an IVF cycle, you know, there's lots of complicated things that you have to go through. And you're made to feel in control, but yet you're not in control. And don't get me started on the jargon that you have to learn. It's like learning a new medical dictionary. You need to swallow one and understand it as well. But what I like to give to my clients are simple steps that are logical and simple in order for them to be on their journey of success. Back to my couple, I'm thinking that you probably want to know what happened with them. You know, and you know, not everything happens positively, you know, because you expect a baby in 9 months' time. And in this case, it only took them 8.5 months when they were blessed with their little girl, Miss Sunshine. And as their family grew from 2 to 3, and in fact now 4, so did my business. Because if you get a positive result in an unexpected place, you start telling everybody. And don't get me started, the mother-in-law was telling everybody she could tell. And my phone just did not stop ringing. Can you help us? Can you help us? I've got endometriosis, I've got PCOS, I've been trying to get pregnant for 15 years. Can you help us? I don't want to go to IVF. I want the good route. And all of these people started to gravitate towards me. And what I've also realized while I've been working is that really you only need 3 B's for a baby. So you might be also wondering, what did Mrs. Anxious do to become Mrs. Calm and to become Mrs. I Can't Believe It? Well, she followed my Fertility Pink Ups program. 3 B's for a baby. Now, raise your hand if you believe in a positive mindset. Right, it might come as no surprise, but my first B is about belief. Because what I mean by belief is the bedrock of your fertility success. It's very natural to have doubts and fears, especially when facing difficulties, not if you agree. But especially when you've been told by medical professions that parenthood might not be possible. But remember, belief is the cornerstone of success. And I have seen it time and time again. With my Fertility Whispers program, I help my parents to believe in their ability to conceive. But here's the thing, if you don't believe right now, you can borrow my belief in you, because I have seen it time and time again. Now, you or somebody that you know might become the next Mrs. I Can't Believe It. Moving on to my second B, which is body. This is my fertility flow map, where I'm working on the uterus physically, the body physically. I'm getting it ready for an implantation and maintenance of a healthy embryo. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the term a bun in the oven. Great, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the uterus nice and warm and ready for that baby. I always joke with my clients. I say, you know what, I don't want cheesecakes in the fridge. I prefer buns in the ovens. Nothing against cheesecakes. Now moving on to my third element. This is all about the brain. This is now the left logical brain, where I'm giving logical steps to follow. I help by working on the 7 steps to a successful pregnancy. And this is always about, because if you think about it, when we start questioning ourselves, why can you not get pregnant? Or like my son asked, why does it always happen to us? Our focus can actually be in the negative. And really, negative thoughts are not very helpful, because where focus goes, your energy flows. You might want to write that down. Where focus goes, energy flows. Because it's really important to be positive and to do everything you can. But again, what it is also with all of my elements, I'm wholeheartedly welcoming your baby. Now, I would like to talk about my 7 steps to a successful pregnancy. And I'm going to talk about supplements. Now, raise your hand if you take supplements, even if it's got nothing to do with fertility or pregnancy. Raise your hands if you don't take any supplements. Right, well, just as there's a divide here, there's a divide with my clients. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you if you take so many supplements that you're taking a supplement meal rather than food. Because if you remember, back in the day, with our grandmas, she was having seasonal foods. So really, the food was adequate, but the supplements, they build a gap. They bridge this gap that is here, because a study showed 90% of the women that want to have a baby are not having the adequate supplements or even nutrients. Now, this is where I help. But really, it's not about the supplements that you take. It's about really knowing what they do and whether they're actually going to help you. And this is what I do, because in my experience, there's 11 fabulous supplements that can help. But I only ask you to take 4 or 5, because it always has to be individual. Now, my 7th step. And now the 7th step is the ingredient that binds everything together, and that is my support. Because it's important to have a guiding hand. Because wouldn't you agree that information is available everywhere? But that implementation of that information, well, you can get completely confused.com. You're meant to do this and then that. Oh no, you can't do that. No, let's do this. And this is what happens. But when you have my support, I can guide you through the process, because it's really important to have that guiding hand. And that, because if you think about it, I have got the ingredients, the steps, and how to make what I call a bun in the oven. If you or anyone you know want to follow my program, by all means you can follow me on Instagram, and you can also talk to me outside, because let this be the first step that you take to a positive parenthood. And thank you for listening. I'm Shanela Chaudary to My Fertile Story.